At 75, Billy Gibbons, one of rock's coolest guitar slingers, did something fans never expected. During a quiet radio interview, he finally opened up about the 5 artists he could never stand. The revelation came out of nowhere. The host asked casually, "Billy, after all these years, who rubbed you the wrong way the most?" Gibbons smiled behind his sunglasses and said, "You really want to know? I'll tell you 5 names, and I never forgot what they did." The room went silent. For decades, Billy had been the gentleman of rock. The beard, the shades, the Texas swagger. He was smooth, calm, and always respectful. But behind that cool exterior were years of tension, jealousy, and creative clashes with some of the biggest names in music. This wasn't about hate for the sake of drama. It was about moments that scarred him, rivalries that changed him, and lessons that made him the legend he is today. Fans couldn't believe it. For years, everyone thought Gibbons got along with everyone, but the truth was darker. Some of these rivalries dated back to the 70s, when egos and guitars were both louder than life itself. As the interview spread online, fans demanded names. Who did Billy Gibbons hate? Was it Clapton, Hendrix, someone from ZZ Top's past? Billy only grinned. Let's just say, not everyone who wears a smile is a friend. And that's where this story begins. The truth behind 5 names Billy Gibbons could never forget. Back in the early 70s, when ZZ Top was just finding its sound, Billy crossed paths with a fellow blues guitarist who thought the band was nothing but a joke. The man, let's call him the mocking bluesman, was known for his fiery solos and sharp tongue. At a festival in Louisiana, he told reporters, "ZZ Top, they're just cowboys playing dress-up." Billy heard about it backstage and laughed it off at first. But when the same man started spreading humors that Gibbons stole licks from him, it crossed the line. Billy had spent years perfecting his tone, the fuzzy, warm roar of Texas blues, and to be accused of copying someone else hit deep. During their next meeting, Gibbons confronted him quietly. "Brother," he said, "we're all inspired by someone, but I play from the soul, not from someone's record." The rival smirked and replied, "Then you better find a new soul." That night, ZZ Top went on stage and blew the roof off. Gibbons played like a man possessed. Every riff was a statement. "I don't need to prove anything. My music speaks louder than words." From that day, Billy never spoke his name again, but he admitted years later, "That guy taught me something. Sometimes hate is just respect in disguise." In the mid-'80s, when ZZ Top was topping charts, Billy trusted a producer who promised to take their sound to the next level. At first, it worked, but then Billy found out this same producer was secretly giving ZZ Top's recording tricks to another famous band. When Billy confronted him, the man shrugged, "It's just business." To Gibbons, that was betrayal. Music wasn't just business. It was identity, brotherhood, and art. "You don't sell secrets," Billy later said. "You protect the magic." For years, he refused to work with that producer again. Fans might not know his name, but every time Billy mentioned the man who sold our sound, old fans nodded. They knew. Every guitarist dreams of being called the best, but one night in Los Angeles, a younger player challenged Billy right on stage. He was fast, flashy, and fearless. He walked up to Gibbons and said, "Mind if I show you how it's done, old man?" Billy smiled, handed him the guitar, and let him play. The crowd went wild at first, then the kid's ego ruined it. He played loud, but without feeling. Billy stepped back, took the guitar, and with one simple blues note, silenced the room. After the show, he told his crew, "That's the problem with speed. It can't touch the soul." That kid never forgot the lesson, and neither did Billy. Even inside ZZ Top, things weren't always smooth. There was a time when Billy clashed hard with Dusty Hill over creative direction. Dusty wanted to experiment with synths. Billy wanted to stay true to Texas roots. They stopped speaking for months. On tour, they played together, but didn't share a word backstage. The tension nearly broke the band. When Dusty passed in 2021, Billy broke down on stage. He said quietly, "We fought, we bled, we lived music. And I'd fight him again if it meant we'd play one more show. It was hate turned into love, a brotherly war that never truly ended. In the early days, a British blues legend, let's call him the London King, dismissed Billy as a cowboy who thinks he can play the blues. Gibbons never forgot those words. Years later, when ZZ Top was invited to the same festival as this British icon, Billy took the stage right after him and unleashed a performance so raw that even the Englishman had to admit, that Texan can play. Billy didn't hate him anymore. He made me better, he said. Sometimes hate is just a spark. In 1992, ZZ Top was nominated for a major award, but the decision panel gave it to a band that had openly mocked them as old school. Billy was furious, not because of the loss, but because he later found out that one of the judges had personal beef with him. Billy said, "That's when I realized awards mean nothing. The real trophy is when a kid picks up a guitar because of you." He never attended another award show after that. Billy once shared a deep friendship with a fellow Texas musician. They wrote together, jammed together, and trusted each other like brothers. But fame changes people. The friends started leaking private stories to the press for attention. Billy cut ties instantly. "Trust," he said, "is more valuable than gold." He forgave the man years later, but never called him again. In the late 2000s, a younger rock act copied ZZ Top's signature sound, right down to the fuzz tones and rhythms. When asked about it, the band said, "We're just modernizing what they did." Billy responded coolly, "You can copy the sound, but not the soul." Fans stood behind him, and the new band quietly faded away. One music critic followed ZZ Top's career for decades, always calling them style over substance. Billy never responded publicly, but once said in an interview, "Critics write for papers, we play for people." Years later, that same critic admitted he was wrong. Billy sent him a ZZ Top hat in the mail, with a note, "Took you long enough, partner." During a Nashville recording project, a country legend told Billy, "Rock guys don't understand real music." Billy laughed and said, "Son, music doesn't wear a hat." They never worked together again. Billy later said, "That kind of hate just shows who's scared of evolution." In one infamous talk show appearance, a TV host tried to humiliate Billy by asking if ZZ Top was still relevant. Billy smiled and replied, "I'll answer that next time you sell out a stadium." The clip went viral. The host never invited him back, but Billy didn't care. A manager once tried to take control of ZZ Top's finances without their consent. When Billy found out, he fired him instantly. He tried to steal not just money, but trust, Billy said. It taught him the hardest lesson. Never let someone count your blessings for you. There was one artist Billy always admired, but could never get along with, Jimi Hendrix. They respected each other deeply, but Billy admitted, "We were too alike, two guitar freaks who wanted the last note." It wasn't hate, it was friction between fire and lightning. At 75, Billy finally revealed the truth in full. "I didn't hate them," he said softly. "I hated what they brought out in me, jealousy, pride, pain. But without that fire, I wouldn't be me." He paused, smiled, and added, "Sometimes hate is just love in disguise, turned up a little too loud." And that's Billy Gibbons for you, still the coolest Texan alive, still playing his truth one riff at a time.